hold on just 1 second. Okay, I'm back. I didn't think you would bother to join in. I'm very honored, actually. Hello, Outcast. Nice to see you. How you been? Way to multitask. But this is your opportunity to ask me anything you want. Pretty busy. And dealt with a creeper earlier, but I think that's what it is to feel like a celebrity. I'm a little bit insecure about it. I'm not really used to it. That is quite the Clash of the Titans, no, isn't it? Nah, I'm alright. He got roasted and pretty much humiliated earlier. But thank you, I do appreciate it. But here's something else that a lot of people don't really seem to understand is that I'm just gonna lay it out right now. Is that I don't date online. I'm sorry. I just don't. I had a really bad history with it. Don't want to repeat it again. Plus, I'm sorry to say this, but I'm actually married in real life, so yeah, that's quite the little issue. Didn't realize. Oh, this is a dating thing. Oh dear God, what the? Oh, it just happened. I just cringe at it so much. Okay, you want to know the story behind my persona and such, right? Okay, the thing is that Dame Saturday is actually an angel of death, and I made it seem like she's, a working woman, but her line of work is, not exactly savory. She's a Grim Reaper, of course. But, the thing is, I was inspired by Baron Saturday, or Baron Samedi. It's actually a voodoo loa, or voodoo spirit, that's associated with death and healing, and also he cusses like a sailor, gets drunk a lot. He wears a hat, tucks and tails and everything, so I was actually partly inspired by that. And also, I'm a big fan of tarot, and I saw how death is depicted, and he's shown riding a horse as a knight and everything. And I combined the two things together. Sounds like you. The thing is that Dame in itself, and a lot of people don't know this except for people in the UK mostly, is that Dame is actually a title for a female knight. So that's where I feminized it a bit. I was going for Baroness Saturday, but it just did not go well. It just did not sound right to me, so that's why I combine both things together in a nice little fusion, add some estrogen, and there you go. You have Dame Saturday as that. And Saturday in itself, according to old lore, is associated with necromancy and spookiness. And I made a little history for her. I've actually written a 2-month long origin story for that one. Yeah, that was 2 months of torture. Sometimes I write journal entries all done from her perspective and such. She has a very extensive history. She's over 200 years old. And that's why she kind of does things in an old-timey way, because she comes from a whole different era. So she was quite the little rebel back then, as well as somewhat now. Fruits. Cute. Well, there's 4 viewers so far. This gets more interesting. Hello, new people. Don't be ashamed to speak to me. Say what you like. Ask me what you want. I'll answer. Pardon me, I'm just a little bit shy, so I'm just trying to get out of my shell here. It's not easy. Anyone ask me questions? What got me into making my channel? Well, lots of things, such as I've been told that I have certain talents I need to share, but I never really have the time to do it. And also, I'm trying to overcome my shyness more. It's kind of like a way of combating it, but also, I actually love playing the villain. I love playing the antagonist sometimes, and it really lets my stress come out. There's certain things that really stress me out in real life, and it's a nice way to take it out on that. Let my inner freak out, if you will, but in a non-sexual way, like most people try. Yeah, it's really more severe in person. I'm more used to being ignored a lot. I'm been the shy, nerdy type while growing up, and I've been going through all sorts of changes lately. And I want to overcome that final little issue to become a better person. And also, I want to inspire other people that they can try. Yeah. And at first I thought of just being myself, but I've heard all sorts of horror stories about being stalked, so I decided to come up with the persona instead, and feeling like you're being underappreciated and everything. So that's what Dame Saturday is really all about, because she serves Hades, which is the Lord of the Dead, and she feels underappreciated. The working stiffs, like, I work so hard, yet I don't really feel like I have enough kudos, since pretty much a working stiff, if you will. So it's what she does, But the thing is, I also noticed that not a lot of people are into scary stuff all the time, yet they still want to hear me, so that's why I came up with the idea of doing 3 things. Hello, Autumn. Thanks, Outcast. I do appreciate it. So far, from what I have encountered, I have people say, "Oh, you sound so sexy. You should do ASMR," or "Oh, come on and do this kind of request for me." And I'm sorry, but no, I don't really do that. It's just really super awkward for me. Like, please, just go on Tinder or Pornhub. Don't bother me, okay? I have my limitations. And sometimes I just hide behind the pillows. Please leave me alone. You're scaring me. Leave me alone. Yes, I've done ex-listener stuff as kind of like a semi-fan service, but also I also did it because from what I've talked to other people, that it helps them with their depression and anxiety problems, and they said that my voice is just perfect for it. And I thought, okay, fine, I can do it that way, but I just don't go that far. It's just not me. Yeah, I am doing that. It's okay, Autumn. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I meet those kind of people that just, um, cannot understand why I say no to those things. It's more twice as awkward because of my orientation, so, yeah. Any more people asking me questions? Anything that's on your mind, I will answer. Hmm. My favorite color? I don't really have a specific favorite. I can give you a list. Why would you narrate any stories? I'm not actually going to do live reading right now, but I can work that in later. But yeah, I can give you a list. I like black. I like blue, purple, red. Um, Sometimes a rusty orange color, but not bright orange. Sometimes white. Sparkly white. I like that one. Yeah, yeah, orange can be obnoxious sometimes. But if you like, I can do a quick thing where, oh, who inspires me? Hmm. Great people of the past and present. I've actually been um inspired by people by like Vincent Price, mm, and also Bela Lugosi. They're kind of my idols. Also, I like Emily the Strange, kind of fictional character, but I have to say she was kind of an inspiration to me in being a rebel while growing up. Not really much of a gamer per se, but I do like some phone games. I'm currently playing Bubble Witch. But I have something. Oh, that's my dog. Oh, bipolar chihuahua. She's crazy, but I still love her. It's called the Her Song. Oh, thank you. Oh, her name is Cha Cha. Yeah. She was practically a rescue dog, so I had to take her in. And here it is, the hearse song. It says, "Don't you ever laugh as the hearse goes by, for you may be the next to die. They wrap you up in a big white sheet, from your head down to your feet. They put you in a big black box and cover you up with dirt and rocks. All goes well for about a week, then your coffin begins to leak. The worms crawl in, the worms crawl out, the worms play pinochle on your snout. They eat your eyes, they eat your nose, they eat the jelly between your toes. A big green worm with rolling eyes crawls in your stomach and out your eyes. Your stomach turns a slimy green, and pus pours out like whipping cream. You spread it on a slice of bread, and that's what you eat when you are dead." Done. Can't believe I did that. Thanks. My face is on fire. Thanks. But yeah, that's a song I grew up with. The Peanuts song. Never heard of that one. What's the Peanuts song? Tell me. I've heard of him before. He's actually pretty funny. If anybody wants me to read a little story, it's from the collections of scary stories to tell in the dark. It's called Just Delicious. Does anyone know that one? Oh, how funny. That is hilarious. Actually, I do remember that song now. I remember singing that when I was 5 years old. Yes, that I remember now. Oh my god, there's more. That's so damn funny. Okay, I'm going to do one called Just Delicious from Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Old classic one. It's relatively short. George Flint loved to eat. Each day at noon, he closed his camera shop for 2 hours and went home for a big lunch for his wife Mina cooked for him. George was a bully, and Mina was a timid woman who did everything she asked because he was afraid of him. On his way home for lunch one day, George stopped at the butcher shop and bought a pound of liver. He loved liver. He would have Mina cook for it every night. Despite all his complaints about her, she was a very good cook. While George ate his lunch, Mina told him that a rich old woman in town had died. Her body was in the church next door. It was an open coffin. Anyone who wanted to see her could, as usual, George was not interested in what Mina had to say. "Gotta go back to work," he told her. After he left, Mina began to cook the liver. She added vegetables and spices and simmered it all afternoon, just the way George liked it. When she thought it was done, she cut off a small piece and tasted it. It was delicious, the best she had ever made. She had a second piece, then a third. It was so good she could not stop eating it. It was only then the liver was all gone, and she thought of George. He'd be coming home soon. What would he do when he found that she had eaten all the liver? Some men would laugh, but not George. He would be angry and mean, and she did not want to face that again. But where could she get another piece of liver that late in the day? Then she remembered the old woman lying in the church next door, waiting to be buried. George said he never had a better dinner. "Have some liver, Mina. It's just delicious," he said. "I'm not hungry," she said. "You finish it." That night, after George had fallen asleep, Mina sat in bed trying to read, but all she could think about was what she had done. Then she thought she heard a woman's voice. "Who has my liver?" it asked. "Who has it?" Was it her imagination? Was she dreaming? Now the voice was closer. "Who has my liver?" it asked. "Who has it?" Mina wanted to run. No, she whispered. "I don't have it. I don't have your liver." Now the voice was right next to her. "Who has my liver? Who has it?" Mina froze with terror. She pointed to George. "He does! He has it!" she said. Suddenly the light went out, and George screamed and screamed. The end. Sounds spicy. Oh, yeah. Liver was just that delicious. If you want, I can read Big Toe. In the fish tank. But yeah, I can do Big Toe if you want. A boy was digging at the edge of the garden when he saw a big toe. He tried to pick it up, but it was stuck to something. So he gave it a good hard jerk, and it came off in his hand. Then he heard something groan and scamper away. The boy took the toe into the kitchen and showed it to his mother. "It looks nice and plump," she said. "I'll put it in the soup, and we'll have it for supper." That night, his father carved the toe into 3 pieces, and they each had a piece. Then they did the dishes, and when it got dark, they went to bed. The boy fell asleep almost at once, but in the middle of the night, a sound awakened him. It was something out in the street. It was a voice, and it was calling to him. "Where is my toe?" it groaned. When the boy heard that, he got very scared. But he thought, "It doesn't know where I am. He'll never find me." Then he heard the voice once more, only now it was closer. "Where is my toe?" it groaned. The boy pulled the blankets over his head and closed his eyes. I'll go to sleep, he thought. When I wake up, he'll be gone. But soon he heard the back door open, and again he heard the voice. Where is my toe? It groaned. Then the boy heard footsteps move through the kitchen into the dining room, into the living room, into the front hall. Then slowly, they climbed the stairs. Closer and closer they came. Soon, they were in the upstairs hall. Now they were outside his door. Where is my toe? The voice groaned. His door opened. Shaking with fear, he listened as the footsteps slowly moved in the dark toward his bed. Then they stopped. Where is my toe? The voice groaned. You got it! Done. What'd you guys think of that one? Yep. He just had to do that. Oh, boys were so savage back then. Thank you. First live reading I've ever done. I was nervous. Hey, that's what I do best. Being creepy is my business, and business is good so far. Okay, hurry back when you can, Satyr. If you like, I can do one where I sound like I freak out. It's a short little creepypasta called A White Lie. I like bats, sometimes spiders. Kitties are okay. I like kitties. And ferrets. I like some dogs. Foxes are cute too. But yeah, I'm strange. I love bats. But here's one that's called A White Lie. Okay. I'm the last one here. Those things killed everyone else. Those things, the huge wings, beady eyes, sharp claws. Every time I close my eyes, I see my coworkers being ripped apart. A few of us made it to the building here, but even here we are not safe. I watched them get picked off one by one, screaming as they fought against death. I tried to stop it. I swear I did. I tried. Now I'm running through the building to the main power center. No one else to ask. I'm tasked with pressing one of these buttons. Either I'll press the red button or the green button. Supposedly one button will turn the power doors back on, protecting us from whatever that shrieking, hungry, angry thing is outside. That's the red button. The other button is green and opens the opposite power door. And I can only imagine what might be out there. Why had I agreed to come and research in this lab? I just think as I run, hearing the screeches behind me. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. Why did I lie on my application? Why didn't I admit I was colorblind? Back. How was it? Welcome. Thank you. Did I freak anybody out? A short while. What a twist! Hello, stranger. Nice to see you. Makes you wonder. But I'm going to do another one where I sound really evil. It's called The Game. Yeah. It's somewhere. It's getting progress. Okay, here's the game. Here's to you, kid. Happy birthday. You managed to stay alive all this time, despite our best efforts. You played the game pretty damn well all these years. What's that? Didn't know you were playing? You've been playing since the day you were born. Every accident you narrowly avoided your entire life, from crypt gates left open to forgotten parking brakes, even lightning storms and slips on patches of ice. Every injury waiting to happen. Every sudden fatality was our doing. Many have already lost by the time they get to your age. Consider yourself lucky. Luck being your skill at playing the game. What's that? How do you win? Oh, I see. You don't, I'm afraid. We get everyone in the end. It's all a matter of time. And luck. Happy hunting. And thank you. Oh, Jesus Point 2.0? That's what it's called? I'll see if I can find it. Let me see. Oh, really? Oh, okay. Let me see. Okay, I got it on my phone here. I'm trying to solve a little technical issue here. God damn it. Okay. Too lazy to read it. How funny. Okay, here it is. The first thing I noticed about him was his shaggy, champagne-colored hair that reached down to his shoulders and how it contrasted against his dark brown skin. He smiled, looking at me with sleepy eyes. I am just Dominigas, he said, extending his soft hand towards me. According to his file, the kid had lived a life filled to the... I'm your new foster dad. I smiled wide, hoping to look welcoming. In our first month together, I learned that Chess loved wearing the tie-dye shirts, red pair of jeans, and John Lennon-inspired sunglasses. He was a huge fan of all things Michael Jackson, and each time he spoke, it was like a song, always ending on a pleasing note. His charming demeanor and whimsical charisma won over every person he met. I truly believed I had lucked out because I had been told teenagers were the hardest to foster, but Chess was grand. Chess impressed his teachers at school with his encyclopedia-like knowledge, acing his first science project when he used a chemical reaction to turn water into wine. Since his grades were good, I allowed him to take an after-school job. He managed to get a job as a carpenter's helper, and with his salary, he made donations to the local homeless shelter. On weekends, he volunteered at the Humane Society. I mean, I really could not complain. The kid was pretty spectacular. One evening, as I passed by his room, I heard him and his best friend, Tia Chernst, giggling. I thought nothing of it, until I smelled something familiar in the air. Slightly worried, I popped my head in the door. "Guys, everything all right?" I asked. I saw Chus hiding something inside his mouth, not able to reply. Tia, also holding something in her mouth, turned a plaid light. I knew what it was. "Guys, relax," I said, sighing and chuckling. "It's okay, it's legal in the state, but technically not for you guys. So just do it at home. No driving or going outside, okay?" Chus and Tia immediately burst into laughter, releasing all the smoke from their mouths into the air. I laughed all the way to my room, where I reminisced about the days I used to get high with my friends back in high school myself. What a wonderful time the 60s had been, to show where all the goods were. As I walked towards the kitchen, I inadvertently overheard their conversation. "But have you actually spoken to him lately?" Tia asked Chus. Chus gloomily replied, "It's been at least a century since I last spoke to him, but I think he knows where I am. Or, if he doesn't yet, he'll figure it out soon enough." I assume they're reenacting a scene from a movie. Tia continued, "Well, if our plan goes through, you only have to speak to him once more, and then you can live happily ever after, for eternity. Imagine that!" "I just feel bad," Jost replied, "about using Mio. This is the first time in my long life, that I'll be using a human for my own selfish need." "Use me? For what?" I thought to myself, quietly standing behind the wall of the kitchen. "Oh, stop it!" Tia replied, annoyed. "You're literally the most selfless soul in the universe. It's okay to take care of your own needs once in a lifetime." Feeling disappointed and slightly frightened, I silently walked back to my room. I tried not to think about the conversation I overheard between Tia and Chus, but soon enough, things started to crumble down for me. First, my car was vandalized. Then my identity was stolen, but things got worse. By the end of the month, I had lost my job and had an awful case of pneumonia. At this point, I was starting to get worried, as I had to take care of Chus's needs, not just mine. I searched for a new job online, but received no replies. Worse, I could barely breathe as my pneumonia grew scarier and scarier in spite of all the medications and medical visits. "It's all my fault," Chus mischievously said to me one evening. I coughed into a napkin, some blood staying behind it. "What do you mean? Of course it's not." "No, it is. It's my fault. I know who's doing all this. It's my father. He's doing it to punish me," he replied, tightening his shoulders. "Okay," I said, puzzled. "Christmas is right around the corner, and on Christmas, we tell the truth," he began. "I picked you, Mio. I chose you because I knew what a good guy you've been your whole life. Attempting to foster a child is a clear example of your altruism. You're selfless, and I love that about you." I continued to listen. "You don't deserve all the misery that was befallen onto you. This is happening to you because he knows I'm here with you, and I try to stop you. I tried to help you, but he's stronger than I am, and I'm sorry, but I need your help. You see, my father, he's a very controlling man," Chus said, looking down at his hands. I was completely lost, thinking the pneumonia was blocking me from making sense of everything he was telling me. Chus continued, "I don't think you'll believe me until you see it for yourself. I'm going to need you to come with me." "Would you come with me, Mio?" I noticed his eyes glistening as they filled with tears. "Where?" "To see my father, the one who created me," he replied. Chus drove us out an hour away to a secluded beach, where he walked me to the edge of the water. I assumed that he had set up a meeting at the beach with his father behind my back. At the point, the pneumonia was so severe that all I could say was yes to everything. Just, do you think on the way back we could stop at the pharmacy for... Before I could finish my sentence, I noticed a man approaching us. This wasn't just any man. He was a giant. He was a brawny man, strong and powerful, with muscles protruding from his body like mountains on a valley. He wore a pair of unreasonably tight black swim trunks that highlighted everything. His massive legs looked like they could crush any living creature with a single misstep. His thick skin was evenly bronzed and looked recently oiled. His hair, slightly wet from the ocean, shined and moved in the wind like a Pantene commercial. "Hello, Father," I heard Chus say. I couldn't believe that Chus, the shaggy-haired, scrawny kid that had come from this colossal giant whose shadow in the sand was 3 times the size of me. "Hello," he answered in a husky voice. "It's been a while, and I've seen you brought a friend." Feeling completely inadequate, I managed to whimper, hi?" before bending over as I coughed up a storm. His father barely acknowledged me. "So, you're going to pretend that you don't know Mew, after everything you put him through?" Chus asked him. His father broke out into loud and intimidating laughter, revealing perfect teeth. "So you gone looking for a new father? You don't remember what happened the last time you had a human father?" He laughed some more. I was a bit confused by his choice of words. How long have you been his father?" His father suddenly asked me. "About 6 months," I said, trying to hold some more coughs. I could feel some building up inside of me. "Oh, 6 months. Wow, because I've been doing this for thousands of years and you're still a giant puzzle to me," his father replied, dismissing me with his hands. "Okay, let's not get sarcastic now. I've been with him for a little over 6 months and going great. Now, I don't know how he ended up in foster care, and I'm not here to judge you, but..." "Judge me?" his father suddenly asked, sounding scorned. "Of course you're not here to judge me. I'm the one who does the judging." "Well, okay," I replied, getting annoyed. "Listen, I think you need to drop it down a notch with your condescending attitude, sir. Once again, I don't know what issues you have." "What issues I have?" his mother asked me sarcastically. "I don't know the half of it, and I mean that literally. This son of mine created half a book worth of lies in my name." I don't follow," I replied. I looked over at Chus, who now rapidly blinking and forming beads of sweat over his forehead. "There's a book about me. It's the highest-selling book worldwide. You should read it sometime. But only the first part," his father said sarcastically. Noticing I still had no idea what he was talking about, he sucked his teeth and said, "You people are truly clueless. You don't get it. I made men and women and the skies, the oceans, the animals, the stars in the universe, and I even made your mom. I made everything. And all I ever asked for in return was for you, smarty pant creations, to use your God-given brains to worship and adore your creator." He paused, closing in on me. "I am your father. I am everyone's father. Because I am God." "Okay, this guy is completely nuts," I thought to myself, laughing out loud, causing me to have another coughing fit. His father stared at me as I struggled to regain my composure. But before I could, he tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Watch this." He placed his hands over my chest and shoved me down to the ground. Hey, I said, slowly getting back up. "There's no need to be violent. Violence only..." I stopped in the middle of my sentence, noticing the immediate change that has occurred inside me. The pain in my chest was gone. The scratchy feeling inside my throat? Gone. The chills? Gone. The pounding headache? Gone. The pneumonia disappeared. How was that?" I asked, pointing at him and then back at me, and then back at him again. "I'm God, remember?" he repeated. I looked over at Chus, who simply shrugged his shoulders and nodded. "Now listen, here's what we're going to do," God said. My son here will be coming with me, and I'll spare your life and give you back your health, your car, your job, and whatever else I took because, quite frankly, I did get a little jealous watching you two canoodling. I'm not coming with you, Chus finally said, breaking a silence. Wait, if he's God and you're his son, does that make you... I asked, doing the math in my head. Chus nodded. Yeah, about that. My name is Chus, which in Spanish is short for Jesus. I stood there in shock, remembering all the quirks I had noticed, his kindness, his empathy, his intelligence, carpentry skills. The ability to turn water into wine. How did I not see it before? Noticing my confusion, Chus added, Of Nazareth? For clarification. Still, I stood frozen, going through some sort of existential crisis. Oh, come on, God suddenly exclaimed. Are you serious? Now you're impressed? Now you're speechless? I literally just told you I'm God and cured your pneumonia, but it's this guy being genius. What impresses you? No. I'm sorry, I couldn't figure out a way to explain my natural reaction. God slammed his enormous fists on the ground, making the sand vibrate beneath us. This is why I detest humans. They worship anything that slightly impresses them. Elvis, the internet, the Kardashians. I sent my son Jesus to spread my word. And then what do? They make him an entire new religion based off from him, complete with the biggest holiday on earth included. Paganism everywhere! I was only trying to help, Jesus replied. Indignantly, I felt bad for Jesus. His father was clearly jealous of him. Oh, you were only trying to help, God repeated mockingly. Do you think it helped me when you claimed that all sins would be forgiven and absolved by me if humans simply repented? Do you think you can help me when you claim that anyone could make it to the heavens as long as they claim my name at their deathbed? No, you didn't help. You made all that stuff up and made a mockery of my own regime. You and your incompetent forgiving ways have gotten us nowhere. Jesus quickly replied, What was I supposed to do? Was I supposed to allow you to continuously punish human souls for every tiny, small action that you consider a sin? This is my universe, and I am its God. Therefore, only I can decide what is a sin or not. Only I get to decide the difference between good and evil. Jesus looked over at me. You know, you shouldn't worship God. Not if you want to end up living inside a marble. He paused. That's what he does. He keeps all the souls inside little marbles so that he can easily count them and know exactly how as many souls he owns. And inside the marbles gives him the illusion of what he considers to be eternal bliss, which really is just stale Boston cream donuts and room temperature soda along with the reruns of Gilligan's Island. That's heaven according to him. Oh my God, I answered, petrified. Don't use my name in vain, God merely replied, ignoring Jesus' accusations. I'm so sorry, I immediately replied. Don't say sorry to a murderer, Jesus provocatively asked. He had me tortured. Men tore my tendons, nerves, and wrists, nailing me to a wooden cross I had to carry myself. Do you know what it feels like to carry on your back for miles the device that we ultimately used to murder you? The physical agony I endured was unforgivable. But worse than that, you made me carry the weight of all human sons on my back for hundreds of years. There is no bigger weight than that. You guys do sin a lot. The suffering I went through during that period in my life has left with traumas that I still struggle with today. God laughed. I don't care. The truth is, I stopped caring about you 2,000 years ago when you began spreading false sermons and false messages about me, who I am, and what they must do. Let me be clear with you, I do not forgive ever. I do not care, ever. And I'll be honest, I feel no guilt about anything I've done because I am God. I have no remorse from the time I convinced Abraham to kill his children. I have no remorse for ordering the death of children in Egypt. I have no remorse for the time I suffocated and drowned all humans on earth, leaving only Noah and his family behind. So, to be completely clear, I have no remorse for what I have done to you. And do you know why? Jesus' eyes filled with tears again. Because I created it all. I am the Almighty. There is nothing greater than me. And whether you like it or not, I am still your Father. God replied, his eyes bigger than ever. Oh my God, I said, scared shitless. You used my name in vain again, Lyle, God said, turning to me. I'm so sorry, God. I really am. It's a habit of mine, I quickly replied, realizing what type of God I was facing. Oh, for God's sake, Jesus suddenly screamed. Do you really care to insult this God? The reason he is collecting souls is because there are other gods in the other universes, and they have this ridiculous competition going about who can collect the most souls in 1.3 billion years. There is no eternal bliss. It'll be over in 1.3 billion years. Earth, humans, this universe all disappear, and then he'll move on to something else. He always does. Oh my God, I said again, idiotically, not realizing I used his name in vain again. That's it. You quit using my name in vain for stupid human expressions, God suddenly screamed at me. Yes, I'm so sorry, I exclaimed, falling down to my knees, begging for mercy. God seemed pleased, seeing me on my knees. No, get up. Jesus suddenly ran over to me, picking me up from the ground. I will not allow this any longer. God, I denounce you as my father. That's why I came here in the first place. I came to tell you that you are no longer my father. Mio here is my real father. I no longer love you. I no longer adore you. I no longer worship you. I love Mio, a true good soul, and I'm here to say goodbye. I'd heard about God's fury before, but had never seen its true powers. Jesus' words to his father clearly broke something inside him. The last thing I remember was God exploding into a burning bright light. After that, the world around me disappeared as darkness set in. I felt an avalanche of fear installed inside me, as if I had downloaded it directly into my soul. I felt helpless, lonely, pain, heartbreak, tremendous suffering. I can't explain with words what it felt like, but I just wanted to disappear into the darkness and never to exist again. I cried out in agony, only to be surrounded by echoing screams. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity, I dozed off. When I woke up, a man sat by my bedside, holding my hand. I didn't recognize him at first. He was slim, with shaggy, champagne-colored hair that reached down to his elbows. Remember me? Jesus? Nazareth? He broke into that infectious smile of his. I felt safe again. Where are we? I asked him, noticing all the red furniture and red walls in the room. Don't be scared, he said, pausing. We're in a place called Heavensville, but don't be fooled by its name. It's not heaven. It's actually the headquarters for Hell's Inc. on Earth. We're in the home of Lucifer. What? I said, a rush of fear suddenly running through my body. No, Jesus replied, noticing my reaction. You can relax. It was on purpose. Let me explain. I've been trying to get here for thousands of years, even before my first arrival to Earth, but you can't just enter hell. You have to be cast into it by God. Only he decides who comes here, so I had to figure out a way to get here, and my friend Tia helped me come up with the plan of making my father jealous enough so that he finally cast me into hell. Tia, as in Tia Grinst, your best friend from school? I asked, remembering the young teenage girl from the heavy black eyeliner. Yes, Tia Grinst. You might know her better as her anagram name. She is the daughter of Lucifer. She's the Antichrist. I was feeling even worse by then. Look, you have to understand, God has only used me. I only realized it after getting back from Earth the first time, and Tia was there for me. And we fell in love, but As much as I tried to convince my father to accept our relationship, he opposed it because he's a jealous god, and he has always been jealous of his greatest creation, Lucifer. So, of course, I was now allowed to date his daughter, and of course, he gave her the title of the Antichrist. I guess I can't judge you, I replied, sitting up. God is very unpleasant. Yes, Jesus replied. I hope you can understand my choices, and as for you, there's no need to worry about getting back home. There's a portal here to Earth and Town Hall. It's going to be some technical difficulties right now, but they should have it up and running soon and you'll get to go home. What about you? Where will you go? Oh well, Lucifer has been kind enough to give me an office and a home here in Heavensville, and as it turns out, I have a lot of angel buddies of mine living here. God casts millions of angels to hell per year due to the insubordination. So we have a little heaven neighborhood within hell filled with fallen angels, and I don't know, I feel like I can change some things around here. Some of the demons seem incorrigible, but others seem open-minded. Even Lucifer himself, he's not such a bad guy. I think there's a ton of room for improvement, and I think I'm just the guy for the job. Wow, I replied. That's a complete change of dynamic. I laughed. Jesus of Nazareth, demon of Bethlehem. Jesus laughed hysterically. I love that! I'm going to use it! Someone knocked on the door, slowly cracking it open. Portal is ready, said a figure with a human's body and a goat's head. Time for him to go home. The end. I hope I captured the characters well. Oh my god. Real classic narcissist. Nice pun there. Make your day with Saturday. Tell me, did I capture God well? Thank you. Why am I so punny? Hey, it makes things more interesting. Yeah. I can actually have conversations with Sans if you're be real. Now that would be funny. No, I can't take them on. I can't really take them seriously. I've actually met many a man-child before, mostly online, but also a bit offline, and they just don't understand the point. Besides, there are other girls to bother. And the funny part is that they actually embarrass themselves and they're not even aware of it. That's a little bit of a malfunction on their part now, isn't it? Are you an airplane? Who's there? Ash who? Cute. Well, I have a riddle for everybody. Hello, Claus! Yes, Outcast? Thank you. Keep up your good work. Yeah, it's always crazy in that type of chat room. Let me take a look. Oh, that's adorable. Sleep well, Outcast. But if you like, I can actually tell you guys a true story that's actually happened when I was a kid. It was actually pretty scary, but also a little bit funny at the same time. This happened when I was 14 years old, pretty much a typical moody teenager, and this happened. I think it was at 7 at night, and I was home alone. I had a dog at the time, and her name was Athena. Weird, and she was a border collie mix. And what happened was, I was in a bad mood. I was trying to sleep it off to get it out of my chest, and I heard walking in the hallway, and it wasn't the clicking of nails. And I thought, oh, okay, well, my parents got home. It sounded like footprints, and I had a bathroom that was linked to my bedroom. And I heard the bathroom door open and then come into the bedroom, and thought, okay, whatever. And It was in the middle of the dark, so it's made it even creepier. Nobody's talked or anything like that. And I had a bowl of crayons on my desk, and I was very particular about my crayons. So, one of the biggest offenses you can ever do is mess with my crayons, and that did not go unpunished. I actually heard the rustling of the crayons, and I said, who is that? And then I heard crayons fall to the floor. And at this part, I pretty much said, okay, who is ever in here? You get the F out! I actually yelled that. Not really making any sense of that, and I heard heavy breathing, and I said, you heard me? Get the F out! And I was actually really cursing like a sailor and yelling all sorts of obscenities, and I was actually throwing stuff at this thing. And then I heard more panting, like, huh, huh, like I scared it, and then it ran out into the hall, and I didn't see it. I just heard footsteps, and I was so mad, and I said, there's the door, get out right now. And then I saw the door fly right open. It moved by itself. I am not making this up. It flew, and that's when I knew I was actually dealing with something supernatural here. And I thought, oh my god, didn't I just do an exorcism? By cursing at it and saying, get the F out of here right now, and being all threatening. But yeah, that's what I did. So what did you guys think of that true story? Too far-fetched? What? Okay, let's hear it. Billy, your online experience with the Ouija board. Go ahead. Whoa. Yeah, those challenges are always fun to do, aren't they? Keep going. Headbutt. Okay, you started the session. What else happened? Hello. Whoa. It was messing with your camera? None of you activated it? Because if that is the case, then it's actually making a point to all the living people that I'm seeing you. I know who all of you are, kind of thing. What a way to get a point across. You're a cheese. Cute. Huh. Yeah. None of you activated it, so like, yeah, it's definitely made its point that I see all of you. Yeah, ghosts have their own interesting ways of communicating, and that's just one of them. A way to make a point. If you're curious what that is, just my chair. Oh, that's super awkward for you, Jackson. Cannot rejoin. After this person's done with their story, I'll be heading off in a little bit. Sleep is much needed. Okay, you did the circle 3 times, and what else happened? You want me to sing a song? I don't really sing. I suck. For it seemed like an eternity, 9 minutes when my friends was about to bump me again. Suddenly the shit started moving, otherwise I knew the same was supposed to. What did it spell out? Just make it short. What did it say? No, I don't sing. Sorry, Jackson, I don't really sing. I did the Hearst song earlier. Oh, so it started messing with the website more. Hello? Oh. I'm guessing at least we're at least 10 more minutes or so. So it singled you out. That's weird. I don't really go to movies much. I'm not really into the comic book movies. That's just my thing. But I do love horror movies and other sci-fi stuff. Said just simply to yes. I guess it just didn't want to tell you, or maybe it did not remember when it died. I see. Do you really want to know? What did it say? How did it die? How'd they die? Yeah, at first you doubted, but get to the point. Mr. Ghost! Hello, hello! Nice to see you! Welcome back! Aw, thank you. Whoa, that's creepy. That's not ominous. Oh, static, why, God. Anything else happened after that? Oh, Chris. Just leave me alone. Please. Put him in timeout. There. Put him in timeout. Whoa, they have faces. That is freaky. Yes, it's my first live stream. Whoa. No, just leave me alone, okay? You're creeping me out. Ah, stalker. Very much obsessed. The person, Chris, he was creeping on me in a different chat room and just did not get the point that I'm not into him. Okay? I don't date online. Especially, I'm married in real life. Yeah, a little factoid about me. So, no, it's just super awkward for me. Especially with my kind of orientation, too. So, yeah, I don't want to get into too many details on that. So, you guys did the session again. What else happened? Okay, if you guys are wondering what my orientation is, I am actually demisexual and heteroromantic, meaning that I do not experience lust for strangers. It was okay. Pretty productive. Quite eventful, I will say. What about yours? But yeah, I only get crushes on guys, but I don't real, you know, lust like many people do for strangers. Like, oh, that person is hot or whatever. I just not able to ogle people like that. That's just me. Oh, that's pretty cool. Whoa. Really? You're demisexual, Mr. Ghost? Cool. Night companion, there you are. Hello, hello. Nice to see you again. I might stay a little longer. Yeah, it's weird. A lot of people just don't get us at all. Thinking, oh, you just made that up or you're trying to be a special snowflake. It's like, no, I've been like this before the term was ever done. Oh, good. You're demisexual too. Nice. I don't feel so awkward anymore. Yeah. Yeah, it's where you do not experience lust for anyone. For, unless you bond with somebody enough, then you experience lust for that person, but you don't experience it for strangers. It's weird, kind of complex there. Yeah. But well, for one thing is certain, I am hetero. I just love guys in a touchy feely kind of way, not like, oh, I want to jump your bones right your way. So you're bi-romantic on a mage? I liked that one. That was creepy as hell. I bet that was even creepier to experience it yourself. Damn. Yeah. Yeah, it's weird and people cannot get that and people like that stalker just did not understand it at all. Did not even bother to look it up when I said sorry, just not into that sort of thing. But a lot of people do not understand that there's a difference between how you desire and how you conduct yourself. Wow. So, on a mage, you are attracted to both genders, but you have the kind of, your lust just functions in a different way. I bet it was life changing. Yeah. Well, with me, it's involuntary. Yeah. There's a difference between how you desire and how you conduct yourself, and people do not understand that there's a big difference between the two. And with me, it's lack of desire. That's just the way it is. I'm sorry to hear that, Jackson. It's a magical number, isn't it? Oh, I see. I see. Yeah. Yeah, and a lot of these people just don't get that. And, thinking, oh, geez, you're inconvenient, you're nuts or something. And my defense is, hey, we actually made great spouses because of that. You would actually feel worshipped. Oh, then their attitude changes. Yeah, but yeah, a lot of people in the ace community just really are really misunderstood, misrepresented, especially in the media of today, and they just do not get it. In fact, why don't they just ask us personally what it's like to have this in order to make an actual ace character? Yeah. It's that kind of devotion that people need. I don't know. But a lot of people misconstrue things that, they lamp together what is, you know, love and lust because they're two separate things. You know what I mean? They have weird skewed views of what is attraction. Now, there's a difference between falling in love and falling into lust. They're two different things. Yes, it is. When I say romantic attraction, it's like, hey, I'm plenty romantic and no, no, no. It's who you get a crush on. Whenever I use those words of who is homo-romantic, like of who is bi-romantic, things like that. Oh, I'm sorry, Jackson. It will get better. If it helps, I'm really misunderstood. Yeah, it is. And a lot of people seem to understand that there's some people who are actually aromantic. I've actually met a person who's like that. And it creeped me out. Yeah. Bloodlust. Oh, I'm sorry, Ghost. I'm sure you'll figure it out soon. Aww. If I could, I would give you a big hug. I'm a huggy person. I'm sure I know somebody after a while, even among friends, I don't care if you're male or female, what the hell ever. If you're my friend and you're sad, I'll give you a hug, whether you like it or not. Okay, what's your pun? Oh, that's pretty funny. No. Kitty hugs are adorable. They get really possessive. I used to have a cat that would hug my head, and she would be like a hat on me when I wake up. Oh, that's so cute. Hug your bunny, Herman. That's adorable. And also, I don't care if somebody's being Cinderella saying, don't hug me. It's like, fine, I'll give you a hug anyway, like you're not. Yeah, it has been that long. Pretty impressive. But, well, my cat, when she was alive, she had the most weirdest of habits. She would actually sit on command, just like a dog. And also, she would, chase after rubber bands and bring it back to you. It is so cute. But one of the sweetest things about her is that no sad faces allowed or crying aloud. She takes action. She immediately noticed whenever something was upsetting me and gave me comfort. She was, I think, 18 or 19 years old then. She lived a very long time. We took very good care of her to make her last that long. But sometimes I do miss her. I try to keep a, straight face, smile, because I know she would not like to see me wallow in self-pity. No, not happening. Not happening, Night Companion. You can dream, though. Oh, how adorable. But I must be off, my dears. I need to sleep. But I will definitely produce something scary in the morning. That I can promise. And I loved entertaining all of you. It was nice to meet all of you and to come out of my shy shell because I wanted to do this for a long while. But I may do this every now and then. Thank you. Please like. Bye bye.